That Don't Sound Right is a podcast about talking the way we did before the internet, when you could not prove anyone right or wrong.
All the expertise was contained in the people involved with the conversation. I'm Peter.
I'm Cecil, and I hope you enjoy our conversations. And as you listen, if you find yourself silently saying, "That don't sound right," send us a comment. You're one of us. Mine would asphyxiate you.
Oh, yes. What did he spray in there?
After they did the welding, they sealed it.
Right.
But it has the volatile organic compounds have not leached out enough yet to get into the car.
That's some strong stuff.
And the windows is stuck. So.
Hey, Cecil.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, it's good to be back. How are you doing?
I've had a good week. How about you?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad.
I just want to say I really enjoyed the mailbag episode. That's been one of my favorite episodes.
I tell you what, it was fun to hear everyone's reactions. It was fun to hear everyone's feedback.
Yeah.
It was fun to hear some of everyone else's stories.
Yes.
And that's hopefully you're doing this. Our listeners are doing it with their friends. They're instead of Googling it. You want to hear a funny story? So my son was hanging out with a guy at school. They go to NC State together, and the friend purposely put his phone somewhere.
Because of the show?
No. He doesn't. He doesn't listen to the show. He purposely put his phone somewhere while he was with Jack and some of the other guys. They were just hanging out.
Right.
And one of the other guys noticed him do that. He said, "What are you doing? What's going on?" He said, "I'm just putting my phone away. I'm just trying to be present, not trying to Google anything." And my son says, "Well, then I've got a podcast you need to listen to."
Speaking of a new listener, we picked up a new listener in Georgia.
Okay.
A friend of my brother's, who hopefully is now a friend of mine. I didn't get permission to use his name online, but you know who you are. Thanks for listening.
Oh, perfect.
Met him at my brother's son's lacrosse game.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it was nice.
Excellent.
So he's been listening to the show.
Hey, so I was thinking when we first started this podcast.
Yes.
In our humble beginnings.
Almost 6 months ago.
Yeah. We were kind of huddled over there around your little microphone that someone let us borrow.
Yes.
And now we've got these fantastic microphones.
Yes.
And I mean, every time I look at this thing, I feel like I'm about to blast off into outer space.
These are really high quality mics.
I mean,
And again, we were very thankful to the listener that passed this along to us.
Oh, man, that was wonderful. And hopefully everyone else is enjoying these mics too, because you can hear me and Cecil much better.
Right.
But the interesting thing is that, just speaking of blasting off in outer space, we were talking about different things.
Yes.
And so far everyone's heard about what we've talked about. And one of the things that we haven't talked about, and I don't know if you remember this, but we were pondering the cost of private space travel.
That's right, we were. One of our first conversations about this was, we were pondering that.
And that's when Jeff Bezos was about to launch his rocket ship. That's when SpaceX had started ferrying astronauts up to the space station. Right. And I don't know, has Virgin Galactic, have they taken their first flight yet?
I don't know if they have or not.
But the question we always wonder is, how much does that cost? Yeah. So you pay a fee. Yes. You buy a ticket, and then that money, what does that money go towards?
I would think most of it would go toward fuel.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we've got fuel.
Yeah.
We've probably got to cover the research and development of a spaceship.
Yeah. So what are most of them doing? Just taking you up into the kind of the first level of outer space?
Yeah. From what I understand, the Bezos flight, I don't even think you go into orbit yet. You go up there.
You just go up really high.
You go up really high. You get weightless for a while, and then you come back down.
How high is the Virgin Galactic supposed to go?
I think about the same.
Really?
Cecil, I mean, I watched some documentaries. Those were one of the first guys trying to do this. Right. And I will never forget this one scene where they were they were doing a test run. And so the way it works is it's kind of like a space shuttle-ish type of aircraft, and it's on top of an airplane, a bigger airplane, a large airplane.
I've seen that.
And they let it go. They get it up high, they let it go, and then the rocket engines take off, and the thing goes up there. And the idea is, so it doesn't have to re-enter. It actually floats down.
Really?
It has this foldable wing that folds out that causes a lot of drag, but just enough drag where it doesn't create enough heat where they need to have a heat shield. So it kind of floats down almost like a leaf is the idea, right? And so
that's exactly how I would have fallen.
I wonder if you get a better. I wonder if their flight, the ticket price is better for them because you're falling more like a leaf instead of like a rocket. But one of the most amazing things I've ever seen was the test pilot took it up and they got into trouble. The ship was spinning out of control. Right. And the ship has all kinds of sensors on it. And the aerospace engineer, kind of the chief engineer of this project, he was on the ground. And the test pilot said, "Hey, I'm spinning. I'm out of control. I can't get it right." They had plenty of time. They were way up there. Plenty of time. And the aerospace engineer started looking at basically the data traces of all of the instruments. Really? Yeah, it must have been like a dozen lines. And they were going all over the place, and he was reading them. And after just looking at them for a couple seconds, he told the test pilot, "Okay, take the stick." And he gave him directions on how many thrusts to go in one direction, how many thrusts to go in another direction, how to hold it in one direction. And he corrected the spin by looking at data.
Wow. That almost don't sound right.
It doesn't, but it was that guy. I mean, from an engineering standpoint, that guy is my hero to be able to look at the data and be able to basically fly the ship that was out of control and fix and correct the problem to get it back under the controls. So the test pilot, who does nothing better than fly by the seat of his pants, couldn't fix the problem. It was awesome.
That is awesome.
It was absolutely crazy.
That is crazy. I didn't realize he did that. Yeah. That's kind of the opposite of what happened with those. What were the planes that were crashing for a while because they weren't able to correct the trim? I don't want to disparage one of the.
Is one's recently?
It was recently, like in the last 5 years.
The 737 Max.
Yeah.
Right.
So that they actually had the opposite problem of that, because what it turned out to be is that because the pilot didn't have enough experience in those things, they basically were trying to create the plane where it would fly itself in almost every situation, but there were certain situations that the data couldn't make up for the pilot's experience, and that's why they were going down. If you read the final report of it, there was one particular situation that the plane thought it was in a dive, and was overcorrecting. So that's interesting that the engineer
could look at
the data visually and correct for it and tell the pilot that when a computer couldn't do it in the 737 Max.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
But this gets back to the cost of space travel for the private. I mean, I don't even know how much does it cost for you or me to buy a ticket.
I don't either.
To take a flight up in.
I don't think it'd be millions.
Yeah, for some reason, the $30 million comes to mind was the price tag. I'm not sure if that's right, but $30 million.
Just for a ride.
Just for a ride up and then back.
Yeah. I don't want to go to space for $30 million.
That seems high.
Yeah.
It seems on the high side.
There's other things I'd want to do first.
For $30 million?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's probably,
I think you could restore your Scout for $30,000.
The Scout, yeah, that's a 1972 International Scout.
Yeah.
And I could throw in some really nice patina for your 61 Ranchero.
You could.
Especially in the bed.
Yes. No, yeah, I mean, for $30 million, yeah, that just buys you a seat on a plane that goes up into the first reaches of outer space.
That's right. Well, this one's. I think this is Bezos' rocket, so you actually do get to ride on a rocket ship. Huh. Right.
Yeah.
Still you get to strap a.
Still not worth $30 million to me.
No, it doesn't. Seems high.
Yeah. I wonder if it ever become affordable Because I think that's what Virgin Galactic wants to do, is where you can take up, a lot of people up into that thing.
Yeah. But still, I imagine they're going to charge a lot.
Yeah.
And is there even insurance for this? Like, can you buy flight insurance for this?
That's a good question.
Can you buy trip insurance?
I'm trying to buy trip insurance. Yeah, what if you had to cancel your trip?
Well, that's why you buy the trip insurance.
I don't know. That's a good question. I just don't know who. I guess if you had a lot of expendable cash.
Yes.
And you
Speaking of expendable cash.
Yes.
Tell me these words of wisdom.
So the words of wisdom.
Yeah, I think this is a good time to get into the words of wisdom.
Yeah, the words of wisdom
segment.
for this week are the stingy man. It is the stingy man that spends the most.
So when you first told me that, I thought, what? I didn't get it. So there's probably another wise man or wise crack that's coming really soon. But explain that word of wisdom.
So it's where somebody will spend $10 to save 10 cents. Or like if we go back to our comfort zone of cars, it's the stingy person who tries to do the cheap fix on the car that ends up spending more money.
That's
on
right.
the car,
that's right.
Instead of just fixing it right.
I'm halfway wondering if I'm doing that with my Scout.
Really?
Well, because you took the route of having a body guy go in there and weld up the panels, and you were in and out. I mean, you're done, right? You're bolting in seats. You're about to drive that thing.
Right.
I'm still working on mine. I'm going on like 18 months.
I mean, and you and I both know that anybody that does a car project, car projects are endless.
Well, we have this term called scope creep. Have you heard of the term called scope creep? I
have heard scope creep, yes. I've been involved in much scope creep in my career. So you're always working on them.
Right.
You can always you can put as much money into a restoration as you want.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. As much as you want.
Yeah, like space flight money.
Yeah, we're getting that high. We're getting that high.
Yeah. So, but I have admiration for what you're doing your own welding and your own stuff.
Well, I would really like to start driving it this summer.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to do a podcast on the road.
Our goal is to have both these cars on the road by the summer.
By the summertime.
Yeah.
Now, summer includes September, hopefully.
Right now, you have to get into the car.
That's some strong stuff.
And the windows is stuck, so I can't.
Are the windows stuck?
It's just the handle's broken. I've got the.
Okay.
It'll go down. I just don't have the handle
on it
yet. But so I'm waiting for the. I'm waiting for the VOCs to finish VOCing.
This weekend, leave the doors open.
Yeah,
so I'd get a fan going or something.
Yeah, it's got a strong smell in there right now, but that'll go away. The reason it has a strong smell is because he did it right. He went in there and properly sealed everything. So, but yeah, I'd love to have both those cars on the road by the summer and do some cars and coffee.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
that's a real good idea.
Yeah,
and these microphones will travel.
They will. They will. The Manocaster board will travel and everything. It doesn't sound right, but we've come to yet another end of another episode.
That's crazy to me.
I want to remind everybody that we do have merchandise available: T-shirts, mugs, beer glass.
That's right.
All right.
We also have an Instagram account. We'd love to have people follow us and send us your pictures of some of the crazy things that we talk about.
Yep.
We also have a Gmail account, tdsrpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Send us an email.
Yeah.
Give us some ideas. Give us some words of wisdom. Maybe correct our misinformation.
Give us a definition of patina.
We're still waiting for that, aren't we?
That's right. So please write us and let us know. So anyways, keep talking.
Hey, stay curious.